Hello there. Right, this video is going to have a look at recycling, the advantages and disadvantages of it, and what actually recycling is. The first thing to understand when we talk about recycling is it's not the same as reusing something. If we talk about reusing something, that could be getting a plastic bag, using it to bring stuff home from the supermarket, and then using it to take your lunch in the next day. That's reusing. Recycling is melting it, heating it down, and changing it into a new product. That takes a lot more energy to happen. So never if someone asks you for the advantage of recycling a metal or recycling a plastic, never say so it can be reused. There are three key things that we look at when we talk about recycling. Number one, it saves resources. If we're constantly digging up new plastics and new metals from the ground, eventually they're going to run out. And when they run out, like our fuels, our oils, we're not going to have anything left, so we're not going to be able to make them. And if we've dumped them and got rid of them, then that means that we're not going to be able to make all the things that we use every day. Second thing is energy. Digging out new metals from the ground costs a lot of money, and the reason for that is it takes up a lot of energy. We have to use the materials, we have to use cars, we have to use diggers, all that stuff that we need to get the metals out of the ground. By doing that, we're putting carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, we're using energy up all these fossil fuels to get it out of the ground. So by recycling it, by comparison, it uses up a hell of a lot less energy than getting new materials from the ground. And finally, we're looking at rubbish. There are two ways to look at this. One, the impact on animals, and the other, the impact on the environment. So the first one is animals. If you throw things on the ground, like beer can wrappers, and lots of other things, animals can become trapped. This can kill them, and it can cause some animals to start to die out. Secondly, we've got landfills. When we throw all our rubbish away, if we don't recycle, then landfills get formed where we dump all of our stuff on the ground. Now this is messy, so you get noise pollution because they're digging out the landfills. The landfills fill up, so there's nowhere for other rubbish to go. You get visual pollution. It looks bad in the environment, seeing all these rubbish tips all around the place. So by recycling, we reduce the landfills. There's less rubbish in them, therefore there's less noise pollution. They don't fill up as fast, so we still have somewhere to put the rubbish that can't be recycled, and there's less visual pollution. So just to summarise then, some of the advantages of recycling then is you save resources. You don't have to mine for more metal or plastics in the ground. The waste doesn't fill up landfill, therefore it doesn't create as much noise pollution, as much visual pollution, and there's more space left to put other rubbish. Less energy is needed to extract it, therefore less carbon dioxide given off into the atmosphere. But then we've got the disadvantages. Every single thing that was recycled has to be sorted, so you have to then pay more people. So although that creates jobs, it costs a lot more money to sort the materials. You've also got to rely on the people to sort it, to put them into the correct place. And then, transporting the materials for recycling, that produces carbon dioxide, because all the materials, all the cars give out carbon dioxide when they're transporting them. So overall, we would say the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, but there are some disadvantages to take into account. One thing I'd be careful of is try not to talk about cost. If you turn around in the exam and say it's cheaper to recycle, or you turn around and say it's better for the environment, you will not get any marks. You need to go into detail. Don't say that. Talk about the fact that it saves energy. Talk about the fact it doesn't fill up landfill sites. Talk about the fact that it saves resources, and so on. Don't just say cost. Don't just say it's better for the environment. Don't say less pollution. Talk about carbon dioxide.